Hello. Welcome to Living in Boulder vlog. Um, for the day of the 2nd of um, um, October 2018. I did a video on the 22nd of September, so it's been like a week. That's what YouTube says. um, I And so, yeah, last week I actually did the video. It was only like 2 days after the video before it because I suddenly had a an epiphany that I had to put the U.S. law code on my website under the history books section because I got like super obsessed with Rome, and so I put all the ancient Romans and Greek books up, and knowing that trying to artificially make myself obsessed with Rome because I knew that the country that I was really going to be obsessed with was my own country. And so if I can stave off being obsessed with my country, that'll increase the chances that I'm going to know about the other countries like Rome. So, but now I'm like, whoa into my country. So, because I would have put the law code, but I think that the law code has a reputation of having 23,000 words in it. I mean, pages, which is freaking huge. That's like Bible, Old Testament, and New Testament together is like 3,000, okay? So you're talking making the Bible look little. And I know the tax code has a reputation of having 74,000 pages. I don't know how that's possible if the tax code is inside of the law code. Unless they're talking about some kind of fancy, fully comprehensive tax code. So that's what I've been doing the last week. I started it a week ago, and so I've been having problems with the computer freezing on me. Right now, my computer actually is frozen on me. It started spinning around, so then I broke Title 42. It's like agriculture or something. It has like 198 chapters in it. It's way so big. I broke it up into four pieces of 50, but it was just spinning around. So I turned the computer around so I wouldn't have to look at it. And I just started working on my other computer. I just moved, what do you call it? AirPlay or whatever, screen share or whatever, screenplay from the other computer to this other computer. So it's the same for me. I just work on my big screen TV, my 70-incher. So I've been doing that for a week. Um, but the law code, the U.S. law code is so big that I can't just build it all at once, because I can only have a certain. My endurance is such that I can only work a certain period of time, maybe a month or a little bit more or whatever, before I burn out on something. And so I can't do the entire law code before I burn out. So I'm going to have to kind of break it up into bits. And so the bits I break it up into are the all of the books of America. I spent time off the other day. And I built um I built the Federal Papers, the Federalist Papers by Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay, and they're all backing up the Constitution, and they're citing ancient Rome, and it's just fascinating. These guys probably the best politicians ever because they were the ones charged with writing a constitution. It's trippy to think we follow the same thing 250 years later. So and they were very well educated. They had all of the Middle Ages and Roman Empire and to draw on. It was happening at the same time as the French Revolution. So yeah, but then I want to put on the Anti-Federalist Papers. So the way that I'm doing the law code, it has 54. Well, 53 is omitted for some reason, so it has 53 different, they call them titles, so like books. And some of them are bigger than the others. I built the first one wasn't so big, it was the introduction, and then the second one was big. It took me a couple days. And then I kind of got bored with building it start to finish. And this wasn't start to finish. It's just filling it up and then putting it on, but making sure the links are good, but not totally polishing it, making sure that the right font's a title. But so I'm working on that, and did I just lose my train of thought? For like a week, and I oh shit, lost my train of thought. So yeah, and so oh yeah, how I was working on it. So I did the first and second all the way through completely. And then I got bored, so I just went all the way to 50 by doing the next level because there's lots of different levels. Like tables within tables, chapters within chapters, and so I went level 1 down. I did the title. I actually did the title once, and then I, but then I went down again, and I did one level in from the title of all of the chapters inside they call it titles, but books. And then I went down to 50 at 4, and then I'm coming back down to 1, doing 30. So it's 3 numbers before you get to the name. So it's 1, then 2, and then 3. And then when I get to the bottom, I'll come back again and do 4 in, which will probably be the most time consuming, and then finish up some of the smaller ones. So, as far as I can tell, I am on track. It's like impossible to know how long it's going to take. All I know is that I can do it. I just know that I can do it. Let me explain why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because, well, I want to get my street cred. I'm working on scoring up street cred. I can't score money cred because I got demonetized from Google, and I don't have the time to try to do ads from other means. So I don't make any money. Luckily, I'm independently wealthy. Enough so to survive on like beans and rice, which keeps me on my toes. And so I'm busting my ball. What the heck? God damn it! I lost my train of thought. I got really high before I did this, and so I need. Oh yeah, why I'm doing it? Because I know I can finish it, and I'm trying to score street cred because I can't make money. And if you want to change the world, there's lots of different ways to do it. You don't need money, and so I'm gonna score my street cred. Basically, fortify my conscience, my attitude I have about myself to make myself kind of like a ruthless Wolverine monster, piranha, goblin, destroyer, assassin, hashassin. By just working in my house so many years that I just get super pissed off at the whole world. And at that point, when I pop out, I'm like, "Yo, look at my motherfucking website, bitch!" And so I'll go out. I could burn a hole right through anybody. I put my attention onto. Like I'm God's representative on earth. And so the people who I'm gonna go after, are gonna be the bankers. For a little bit, I thought maybe I would put Bezos and the Koch brothers on my jersey, but now I'm gonna make sure to put bankers. I'm gonna put Mnuchin on my jersey, and I'm gonna tell him that he has to give me my $50,000, and then I'm gonna make other jerseys with other bankers, and I'm gonna give all the jerseys to all the other bikers in Boulder. I'm gonna tell them that they have to wear the jersey, and then they have to tell the whatever bankers on their jersey that banker has to give them $50,000 a year, and so that's how you fix the world, baby, without having to worry about money, For people who like, if I had money, there's things I could do. But I'm not worried about that. I do want to buy a. I want to be a triathlete as soon as I get around to it, and I want to buy a Eternity pool. They're $10,000. I think the. I think there's room for it next to my apartment complex pool, community pool. There's this big asphalt area next to it, so just pop that bitch in there. That'd be fun, but I'm gonna do that in 2.5 years because I have 10 projects, 3 months each, 10 times 30. 10 times 3 is 30, which is 2.5 years. Um, but yeah, let me explain why I'm doing the law code apart from street cred. Oh yeah, well, why would you get street cred by doing law code? Because a lot. Well, number one, it's original. Nobody else does it. I haven't actually looked on Harvard law website because I guess they're the law school of America, but I know that the Cornell has it. That's the one that I'm using right now, but the government has it. And but the government's version and Cornell's version are exactly the same. They have it broken up into different pages. So I think they said there's like 5,000 or 15,000 laws in it, and each law has its own page, and that makes it impossible to scroll read. Where you can just control A or scroll down and have it read to you. Cell phones these days do it. My Apple iPhone 10 does it. Just text to speech, just like your computer. You just highlight and scroll, hold it with one finger, scroll down the other, and it reads. So, or you could do natural reader, or read it off your computer. So, once I'm done with my U.S. law code, I'm going to be the only person in the whole world who has the U.S. law code where you can have it read to you all the way through, scroll reading, maybe even the whole thing. You can sit there all day long and have it read to you. The computer usually starts warbling after an hour, so you don't want to have it select more than an hour of text because it'll just start going whoa, 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 and then you'll have to find where you are. So, but yeah. Lost my train of thought again. Maybe I'm kind of tired. It's like 4 in the morning. I'm gonna go to sleep right after I do this. I got a little bit groggy. So, yeah. That's why I'm doing it. That's why it's original. It needs to be done. A lot of people will be like, well, why do you have the law code on your website? Because nobody cares. It's like boring information. Nobody would read through it, but it's interesting stuff to look at. And it's something good to zone out on. Like if you're on a long ride and you want to listen to something, just listen to the law code, power through it, take you forever, but then you'll know what's in the law code. You want to know what's in it. I mean, there's different, you should expect different results from different times you read a book. We need to change it. I was saying this before. We need to change it so we look at books as things you memorized and not things you just read once. And so, if you read a book, when you read the book the first time, you know what's in it, and that's a huge thing because then you know what you want to go back to. If you ever become interested in something, you know where it is. Like somewhere in this book. Same thing with the law code. If you listen to the whole law code, you're gonna know what's in the law, and that's a huge explosion in your knowledge just to know what's in there. So, because there's all kinds of stuff I didn't think of that's in there. So, and so that's why I'm doing it. It's super time consuming because it's big. And it takes over, it fucks up the computer. Like if my computer's crashed when I get up tomorrow after having given it 14 hours to think, I'll just have to break it up into 6 different bits. You just keep breaking it up. The problem is, I think it's like corrupted or something because this page, it was obviously huge. Title 42 of the law code completed, but there was actually broken up into like 4 different pages. And the first one, it said it was really big, but it said it was only 600 kilobytes. And so even before I had to break it up, so the computer thinks it's smaller than it really is, but it also treats it like it's huger than it actually is. Because those pages aren't that big. It was only 50 tables. I mean, I have tons of books that are way bigger than that. And I restarted the computer. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to get in and maybe do like a performance thing for Mac. I just thought of that right now. That's my new computer that's doing that. So anyway, I started doing the smaller ones with this computer. So how long have I been talking? I don't want to talk too long. Uh, 15:07. I should have put my glasses on. Okay, so that's I waited a week. I'm pretty much on schedule as far as I can tell. The way that it works with me is when I start a project for the first week, it kind of seems like I'm just starting out with it. So it doesn't really matter, how far I am through or not, because I'm not really paying attention because it still seems like I just started. When I do this video in another week or two, that's when I'm going to have more of an understanding of how far I actually am through the book, and I'll have a clearer idea of how much longer I think I can go on it. Because if it's one more week, it would have been 2 weeks of working on this. Um, so yeah, after I do this, I want to do like the Articles of Confederation, and then I also think I want to do not just all of the books of America, but I think I want to do all of the books from like economic enlightenment of Europe, like the 1600 European, English economic writers like um, um, Wealth of Nations and like John Locke and Stuart Mill and all these guys. Put their books on there because I want to memorize their stuff. There's a lot of material from those days, so I'll just I'll keep it to the economic side of things. So, but then eventually, obviously, I really want to work on. I want to finish Google Earthing Boulder, Google Earthing Rome, Google Earthing Boulder Rome, the timeline, bike racer levels. Other Google Earth stuff. So, yeah, got to keep trudging forward. I don't think I'm going to sit this time through Audition because it sounds good enough without it, and I'm just too lazy. And it wasn't working last time anyway, and I don't feel like getting confused by anything. So, tomorrow, whenever I get up, I'm going to go on these other ones, and I'm going to see if 42's done, and if it is, I'm just going to stick a fork in it for now. But oh yeah, so it's good that I'm putting the law code up because it's the DNA of America. It's our mind. It's the mind of America. It's our law code. It's our decisions and ideas about everything. And if you can get your law code, I'm gonna have a link, a download on that page for people to download the law code. Actually, all my books, but the law code on their computer. That way they can put it on their website and then they can edit the law code for themselves. I think the best way, I want to do news with Kyle, and it's going to be extremely dry. I'll just talk about bills that passed and stuff, and then I'll include them. I have to update my law code, and so I'll YouTube myself updating my law code and make people interested in it so that other people can get used to the idea of engineering their own law code. Like if they want to add the 28th Amendment, like getting money out of politics, word it yourself. I hear that they talk about it, but what's the exact wording? Or if your own amendment, you do the exact wording and just have the words in red, and you can make your own politician and use that as grounds to run for election and stuff, or just street clout. So, so yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna take. It could take 3 months. I was thinking of the way that I work. I'm starting to get tired. Like I can't think as well right now. It's good that I'm gonna go to sleep soon. But lost my train of thought. Um, um, the the best way um to oh shit, I was gonna say something really interesting too. Um, just whatever. All right, I guess that's it. Um, yeah. So when I come back in 2 weeks, I'll be ready. I'll be I'll keep going. Oh yeah, I don't. That's it. I don't know how big the law code is, but it's worth it. So I just said to myself, how long is it worth it to you? Like, how long could you work on it and it'd be worth it? And I decided 3 months, and that's maybe including doing a little bit of other work on the side, like the other history books. I actually asked my fiance how long she thought it was worth, and she said 9 months. And so I was like, whoa, okay. I think I can get it done before 9 months. Her logic was, oh, that's how long it would take a normal person, and I think it's worth it for a normal person anyway, so 9 months. So if I can get this bitch done in like 3 months, it'll be worth it. And then, see, the thing is, one thing my mom said something funny today. I told her last time I saw her that I was putting the law code up, and she threw this royal nuclear charged hissy fit and kicked me out of the house, saying I was never going to get done with anything now. And she was doing the same thing today, because I went over there to get fed, just railing into me, saying she knows for sure that I'm never ever ever going to finish anything, and that it's totally useless and nobody gives a shit. And I go, exactly, that's what I want. I want nobody to give a shit. Because if somebody gave a shit, that means somebody else is going to write the goddamn law code, and they're going to look at their law code and not mine, and it'll be like, why the fuck did I do mine? So what I want, like in everything that I've been inventing, bike racer levels, bike school especially, all kinds of stuff. I don't want anybody else to do it. Like I'm sharing with the world, but I'm happy that only 100 people watch my videos, because if too many people watched it or saw my video website, I could get poached. So so what I want to do is put the entire law code on my website, and then figure out, see, this is where it gets fun. Figure out a way to get everybody else interested in the law code, because then you just take it to the next level, you know? I'm not the kind of person who's like, once I make the law code, I'm going to run out of ideas and be sitting there twiddling my thumb. What am I going to do with my life now? Should I start training, riding my bike? No. As soon as I'm done with the law code, there's going to be some new idea, dude. That's how it works. But the thing is that new idea will springboard off of my law code, and also I'll have like, I'll feel like the most creative dude ever, and I'll have the biggest resources ever because I'll have the law code, right? So I feel like I'm the kind of person who will have an idea nobody could have, and it's an idea that'll work off of another idea that I had that nobody else will have. Like I could make like creating your own law code. So, and then other ideas too, like they could put it on their website, and or you read the law code, and so that's where you can continue with the creativity and finish and polish it, and then people will be interested because you explain to them how they're going to be interested. And so that's my answer to my mom. Like, I don't care if nobody cares. It's just because people are stupid. People are getting smarter all the time anyway. Like the millennials are so much smarter than the baby boomers. Baby boomers were doing crazy shit like putting like butter on their bread. Millennials put avocado on their bread. And I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to because I've spoken for 23 minutes and 27 seconds. All right, peace out.